Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and this is going to be an exciting video. Minecraft has released an Experimental Snapshot, Experimental Snapshot 1 of hopefully many for 1.18. And you know what that means, my friends? That means new world heights, new world depths, cave generation, mountain generation. A whole bunch of stuff has been added into this snapshot, which they've been working on behind the scenes since the Caves and Cliffs update was announced, of course, and probably long before that, but of course hasn't been introduced with 1.17 with part 1 of the Caves and Cliffs update. It's coming in part 2. There is a separate version of this for Bedrock Edition as well, if you wanted to check that out if you play Bedrock and have access to beta versions of Bedrock, but on Java the installation process is a little different. I will link the article in the video description and follow the steps to install this snapshot very carefully because it doesn't install from the launcher in the same way that the other ones do. And the main reason for that, I think, is because when you click single player, you can't load any previous worlds in this version of the snapshot. So it might even be better off if you run it in a different directory. You can't even load worlds that were created using the snapshot data pack that they've provided with the 1.17 snapshots that added all of these features back in. So we're going to be creating a brand new world, and we're going to be exploring this in survival with cheats on so I can look around in spectator mode afterwards. But a lot of the time when people look around these snapshot worlds, I find that people tend to fly around in spectator mode, usually with night vision on so they can look at all the caves, and I feel like that isn't the experience we're going to get when we play in survival. So I'm going to be going in 1.18 test survival. I can't even spell survival, I'm so excited. There we go. And we're going to hit create new world. We're going to accept the data pack warning, and that is not loading yet. Hopefully, yep, no, there it goes. It's going. This is probably the slowest a world has taken to load on my new PC, which is probably a sign of what is to come. Now, I've seen a couple of screenshots of this so far, but I have not seen a huge amount of what else is in here, and we'll be going over what it says in the changelog as we go. But this looks like a pretty standard taiga forest setting for the moment, so let's grab some wood, let's make our first tools, and let's see what's out there. While I'm gathering some early resources here with my first set of stone tools, I'm going to read off a few of the major points from the changelog that they posted on Minecraft.net, because there's some exciting stuff that will maybe give us a clue about what to look for. First of all, new world height and depth. We're all familiar with those concepts at this point. There are new mountain biomes, which we've seen previously in the Bedrock Edition beta versions, so there are lofty peaks, snow-capped peaks, groves, meadows, and snowy slopes leading up to the peaks of the mountains. There is new cave generation from spaghetti, cheese, and noodle caves. There are local water levels and lava levels underground. These are all things that we've known about before. However, the changelog continues in ways that are pretty exciting to me. First of all, it says there will be natural variation in terrain shape and elevation, and I think we might be seeing some of that already, independently from biomes. So forests and deserts can form a hill without needing a special desert hills biome just for that. And just looking at the world around us right now, it does seem like Minecraft's terrain is taking a bit of a height change all across the map, which is kind of exciting, kind of terrifying at the same time. There are also new cave biomes which now naturally generate underground and inside of mountains. Lush caves are included in that, and I'm wondering if we're going to see some azalea somewhere here on the surface, because they said at Minecraft Live a while ago that naturally spawned azalea was going to be the clue to where lush caves generated underground. But honestly, just look at this already. That just seems like a spruce taiga. That's the kind of elevation that you would maybe find in a shattered savanna biome, but the terrain generation out here is wild. Okay, let me try and climb to the top of this and find some sheep on the way, hopefully, and maybe then we'll be able to look through the rest of the changelog here. Oh my word, there's a massive ravine with an aquifer in it, no less. That's fantastic. Lovely to run into one of those on the way up the mountain. Even more weird terrain generation. It's going to take a lot of getting used to, and once again, it's worth noting that any of the changes in this snapshot are still subject to further changes in the near future. I'm also wondering if passive mob spawning has been affected slightly by this, because I've not seen a single animal aside from squid in the river on my way up here. But look at this. This is a dark oak forest at Y127. That is something I have never seen before, except maybe like in amplified worlds. And now this is default Minecraft generation. That is a little bit wild. Oh, hello. There is a lush cave landscape spawning on the surface here, perhaps because of this overhang. Drip leaf everywhere? Oh my goodness. All right, well, I have to jump down into this. That's pretty much mandatory at this point. Splash! There we go. Okay, so from the top of there... Oh, hello, yeah, we're standing in naturally generated drip leaf. So I think it's safe to say we're probably going to have a lush cave underneath here. And there's our azalea tree. There is our marker on the surface and loads of rooted dirt spawning around it. Rooted dirt actually spawns in a large patch underneath an azalea tree, so it's going to be so much easier to get hold of than it was in 1.17. But anyway, back to the changelog, because it says that there will be new ore distribution, and the chart is available on the article if you want to check it out. There are large ore veins, which I've already done a couple of videos on in the past. There are integrated mountains, caves, and cave entrances. And the last point on this changelog is of interest to me looking at what we're seeing up here, because it says monsters will only spawn in complete darkness. And this is a very interesting change because it means what it says. Mobs are now only going to spawn in a light level of 0 in this snapshot. And that's block light level, not sky light level. So I think even if there is light coming from the moon at night, which I'm not sure happens on Java, but I think it happens on Bedrock Edition, you are still not going to see mobs spawning in light levels above 0. So a torch is now going to be so much more powerful than they used to be, but that might be a good thing considering how large some of the caves are underground. So I'm kind of excited to see how that changes the game, but right now, I'm kind of playing like I'm in ultra hardcore mode, even though I've taken a little bit of damage, because I still haven't seen any passive mobs anywhere. We might have to start farming for crops, and we might not be able to make a bed unless we kill a few spiders. So we're going to have to play this one pretty carefully, my friends. Oh, fish! Of course, there are fish in the river. Fish will be my salvation. Salmon! I'm sorry, salmon, you have to die. I need fish. And we have a few other food options. I can see some sweet berries around here, but man, I would really like a bed if we're going to explore the surface a bit more. I want to climb a mountain. And from here I can see a little cave up there on the cliffside, so I guess we'll probably make for that once the rest of this charcoal is done smelting. I need to get hold of some early resources. I need some iron. Well, thankfully this world isn't in hardcore because I don't have a shield yet and the monsters are definitely coming out. Yes, okay, we killed the creeper. That's good enough. Let's make for that cave entrance quickly and see if we can find some iron. Well, there's a little bit more coal here at least. The cave entrance didn't really lead anywhere, unfortunately, and we could wait out the night in here if we wanted to, but I'm kind of tempted to explore into other biomes. We'll leave this forest behind us and see if we can encounter any animals elsewhere. Looks like we have a natural forest biome over here, and it looks like there are signs of light in the distance. Oh my goodness, those cliffs over there. This is turning Minecraft into a completely different world, a completely different landscape, because we're so used to Minecraft being largely fairly flat, and now it looks like Minecraft is going to be a lot more hilly. This also lines up super nicely with what they've said about ore distribution, though, because one thing I was concerned about if ore distribution was staying the way it was the fact that we weren't really going to be able to get hold of any iron from surface caves. But if iron was going to be generating more frequently in mountain biomes and higher elevations, then maybe the fact that some biomes just have naturally higher elevation means that we can run upwards to get ourselves some iron deposits instead of having to cave downwards. Still feels very strange to me that this entire radius of light cast by this furnace is now not spawnable area. And look at the mountains we're seeing in the distance. I wonder how much of this is going to change, because right now, I don't know, it feels like the hilly terrain is a little bit too frequent. You almost expect it to generate a little bit less commonly. And I don't think over there, that's not even a regular mountain. So when we actually encounter mountainous terrain for real, that's going to be so big. Still no sign of any passive mob spawns here at night though, so dinner tonight is going to be salmon and berries. All I've seen is the mobs that will spawn in the river, and it does seem like mobs which have specific spawning conditions, like phantoms are an example, are going to be exempt from this rule about them only spawning in light levels of 0 and below. So we are potentially going to see a few mobs which are immune to that. I feel like it's going to be a controversial change, but honestly, for the creative game especially, it could be quite good, because you will find people using light sources with lower light levels in ways that still block mob spawning, and that could be really good for ambience in creative builds. It might seem like it makes the game a little bit too easy, but honestly, balancing that with how big the new caves are could be a pretty good decision by Mojang. Oh my days, there's a jungle over there. I wonder what heights this jungle will ascend to if it ends up generating on hilly terrain. That over there looks like a regular sort of plains biome though, and there's a drowned. There's a drowned over there in the lake, help. I guess this is all a river biome though, judging by... Yeah, this isn't a lake, this is all river. Oh man. River biome drowned farms just got an upgrade. This is going to be huge if you build something in the sky above this. Well, probably a good thing if you need it for copper and whatnot. At this point, I'm thinking my best bet to create a bed and be able to sleep for the night to avoid all of this mob spawning is just going to be to get string from spiders, which I'll need a little bit more of because I kind of want to make a bow as well, and would prefer to craft that myself instead of having to pry it from the skeletal hands of one of these archers in the woods. Oh, another lush environment here right on the surface. This seems very cool. Am I walking into my first actual lush cave right now? and look at it. It's 3 blocks of clay and a bit of moss. I think if we dig down here, we're likely to find something a little bit more interesting. Oh, there is grass in here. Okay. Was not expecting that. Single torch, blocking all mob spawns. Brilliant. This is very interesting. There's like a crevice underneath here, which seems to have spawned a lush cave inside it. Not the best first introduction to lush caves, but hey, I'm a big fan of all the drip leaf being around. It feels like I'm fighting my way through some sort of undergrowth in the jungle or something. And oh, looks like we're coming out onto that meadow biome that we saw. At least I think it's a meadow. Could just be a plains. There is a flower forest vibe to... Is this a swamp? Are we in a swamp right now? No, it is a meadow. Okay, so blue orchids are now going to generate in these meadow biomes as well as swamps. I saw the vines in the distance and genuinely thought this was going to be a swamp biome. Oh my days. And this is a weird thing. This is something I saw in a screenshot I think Wattles posted. There is mesa terrain generating in some odd places. Obviously, there is an actual mesa over there for a start, but right now it looks like a lot of the... Yeah, we are still in a meadow biome, and it has a wooded badlands plateau just kind of jutting out from one side of it, adjacent to this jungle. So I think there's maybe a little bit of this terrain generation that still seems a bit glitchy and needs to be figured out slightly, but... Oh my goodness. I was not expecting this. To be perfectly honest with you, I was expecting a bunch of work to be done on caves, but I was not expecting the overworld to be made this interesting as well. It sort of feels like we're playing in a modded landscape that introduces a lot more variation in the terrain, but if this is what vanilla looks like right now, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm hoping that the entire world isn't like this. In a way, we are encountering a lot of hilly terrain, and maybe I'm gravitating towards it because it's just the interesting stuff to me right now, but honestly, I really like building on low, flat areas that can be surrounded by mountainous areas, and... This is just magical looking, though. I mean, look at this. We have a little flower forest surrounded by this naturally spawned meadow. This is really quite interesting. I don't know what to feel about so much of this because it's really cool just dipping into this because it's in the new snapshot, but honestly, if the future of Minecraft looks as incredibly hilly as this, I feel like it's going to be a lot of work for terraformers who just want to build on a flat surface. A donkey is the first passive mob I've seen this entire time. There are donkeys all over this meadow. I literally just realized. I turned around. There are a couple of donkeys over there. There's one on the hilltop over there. And those are the only mobs I have seen. Donkeys do not give me food, but they do give me leather if I needed that for armor or something like that. But I do get the sense that passive mob spawning is just a little bit tweaked right now. There are sheep. There are sheep down here in the flower forest. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Well, it looks like we're going to have to go and take care of these sheep. And by take care, I mean kill with an axe, because I need wool. I need wool so badly. I want to explore more of this world on the surface before I have to go underground, and I really need a bed. So maybe passive mob spawning just took a day to catch up, or maybe it's not working in certain biomes. There are so many bee nests in this flower forest. By the way, they're on like every other tree. I passed 4 or 5 just getting to this side of the forest, but I really need some iron. I will not feel comfortable until I have a shield, but I do want to get underground because, of course, natural world generation having changed this much has also introduced lush caves and dripstone caves into the underground for real, and they are 3D biomes as well. They are actually going to be generating below other biomes and still forming a completely different biome in the game code. So I've taken a quick look at the ore distribution graph, and we have to be above Y112 to really start to see the benefits of improved iron spawning at higher elevations. So I think digging down is going to be our best option, or alternatively, since we're so close to the ocean, maybe we could try a bit of dive mining. If we can find a ravine around here, then I might be able to whip out a door or two to save me from drowning, and maybe we can get hold of some iron that way. Oh, yes, there it is. Okay, I need to get into this door. Finally, at least one piece of iron with that. And it is just one piece as far as I can tell, man. The reduced air exposure is killing me, but we have... Okay, 2 pieces of iron. Okay. Oh, looks like we have a third. Is there going to be a fourth one in here? I honestly kind of doubt it. So we have enough to make a bucket, but I think the first thing I'm going to do is make myself a shield because I really need it to survive a future caving trip. I got that iron, by the way, by diving into this desert lake. this desert lake that turned out to basically be a giant well, and... yeah, I think we're going to explore in this direction. There's a plains biome looking area over here. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. A desert village. Yes, please have some hay bales or something that I can convert into a lot of food so I don't have to worry about that in future. Yes. Awesome. And honestly, I really wonder what the new hill generation, this new kind of higher... rockier terrain is going to do to village generation, because village generation was wacky enough as it was. There's going to be people up hills, down cliffs, ravines. There's going to be so many odd changes unless they end up smoothing out some of that stuff. But here we are with a pile of hay bales right here, and even an iron golem if we want a little bit of fresh iron. There's a blacksmith here as well. Incredible. What have you got in the chest for me, bud? Oh, that's the stuff right there. We got some apples. We got 2 pieces of iron armor. No iron ingots in there, unfortunately, but we've got enough of those ourselves, and we can finally start to smelt up some of this iron. This is looking a lot better for me. The struggle for iron is over, my friends, and we can finally get started on caving, because caving is going to be one of the major features of this update, or at least so I thought, until I saw the overworld changes and thought, wow, I want to explore the surface a whole bunch. But no, I think I'm going to gather a couple more rabbit hides so that I can make myself a bundle. We might be able to sneak a little bit of iron from that iron golem as well, and then we are going underground. Wait, is there a second blacksmith? Is this another blacksmith? I don't think this is the blacksmith I went to. It's not. This village is huge, and it's got so many iron chest plates. I do need to get away from this village, though, incredible though it is, because the cats keep killing all the rabbits, and that's my job. Apparently that one lagged out a little bit and got sent to space. And immediately I get distracted again. I'm sorry. The search for rabbit hide led me to a desert temple that is now in the middle of a savanna. But to be honest, I'm happier that it's here in the lowlands than it is in the desert hills, because I would not have seen this otherwise. It occurs to me that these are going to be slightly safer to run into now that we don't have to worry too much about mobs spawning in higher than 0 light level. This burial chamber is still potentially going to be a danger though, but hey, we got some TNT now, and let's see what's in the chests. Bit more iron, that completes our set for boots. We got plenty of gunpowder, bit of extra string if we wanted more beds, couple of gold ingots, an emerald, nothing too special at this point, and 3 diamonds. Okay, the 3 diamonds came through for us. We can make ourselves a diamond pickaxe, my friends. I think we're gonna do that before we head down into the caves. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There it is in all its glory, going straight from stone to diamond. I am glad that we did a bit more exploring. I have 4 rabbit hides so far, just trying to get enough to get a bundle just so we can put away some of the stuff in my inventory that I felt like keeping, but it looks like over there in the distance, we might actually have our first mountain. I can't believe we're going to mountains, even though I just said I was going caving, but we're going there, my friends, because this is my first time seeing mountains in Java Edition. And because there are a few more rabbits over here on the shore of this desert, that is our 5th rabbit hide, and maybe our 6th. Yes, okay, we got 6. Fantastic. Let's make ourselves a bundle. I left all my string in the desert temple. There we go. Who leaves this much string anyway? All right, let's get the crafting table on the go. Let's make a bundle. And oh, let's get rid of all of this stuff from my inventory. All of the useless junk that I brought with me but can't bear to leave behind because I am a hoarder. Okay, so now my inventory is all tidied up. Let's take a look at what we've got here. For a start, some weird terrain gen, because of course we have a desert going straight into one of the snowy slopes biomes, it looks like, or maybe this is even a frosty peak. Looks like we got some powder snow here. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. All right, now we're clear of that. Step on the snow layers, usually a good tactic, and there's a whole bunch of it around here. I can just about tell from the crispy texture that it's got, but this is such a cool thing to see. What Y elevation are we at? 111. Okay, and we have some snowy caves here in Java as well. That's really quite cool to see. Gonna try and pick my way up this mountain without falling in any more powder snow traps. And yeah, this really generated in such a strange place, but we are in a lofty peaks that only seems to go up to about Y160, judging by the elevation of that patch over there. That's not super tall in the grand scheme of things, especially now the world goes up another 64 blocks. Y320, I believe, is the new cap. We do have a bit of extra iron over there, though, which I might grab if I can pick my way through the powdered snow. But the lofty peaks of this mountain do seem to extend in quite a range, and the landscape all slopes up to it, which is super cool to see. I wonder if we can find a cave somewhere at the base of this mountain and start our caving adventure there. More dive mining ahoy! We are... Oh, okay, yep, no, we're definitely finding a cave here. It looks like we have dug out into a cave with zombies in. Great stuff. And that cave turned out to be a bit of an anticlimax. It was just a little pit down here in the cave. But this might be a good base station to start digging downwards. Oh, okay, I was checking my Y level to see where we were. We are out, my friends, out and into the cavern. And honestly, from here, I think it is going to be easier for us to find any Lush and Dripstone cave examples that might have generated down here as long as I survive. Yikes, okay. Well, there's certainly a lot of total darkness down here for the mobs to spawn in. Let's see what we can do about changing that. We are being hounded by mobs a little bit here, but hey, we have a little bit of stuff around here. And it occurs to me that now that mobs are affected by any light level and won't spawn in light levels above 0, then walking over redstone ore is potentially going to disable any other mobs spawning around the outside. That's kind of wild. And lava is going to be very useful for lighting up large areas, but I'm not seeing any Lush or Dripstone caves down here. We might have to retrace our steps if I don't find any, because I really want to see them in this episode. One of the coolest things about 1.18's caves, though, is that once you're in them, you are in them, and there's so many connecting threads and different offshoots to explore without you having to dig through too many of the walls. Once you've found a cave system, it really does feel like a cave system that can go on for quite some distance. So I might be able to explore my way into a Lush or Dripstone cave if I just stay down here in this one. Oh, there's a spider dungeon right there. Help. Oh, a zombie villager. Oh, interesting. Looks like this cavern opens out, though, and yeah, we should hopefully be able to connect into some other caverns around here. And I hope the coal ore hasn't gone away completely, because I'm going to need to cook some charcoal up otherwise. Hey, there's our diamonds, though. We may as well grab some diamonds while we're here. Thank you very much. I'll take a couple of those, and one more of these, and okay, 3 diamonds to our name. What is this watercolor? Where are we right now? We are in a deep, warm ocean. Oh, that'll explain it. Oh, a geode. Always nice to find these. Don't really have much of a useful one, and it doesn't look like it leads through to anything in particular, but hey, nice to find one when we find one. Now, this isn't a Dripstone cave, but I've just stumbled across something very strange. I am still at Y21, and we are under a deep, warm ocean, so it may be the ocean floor having an impact on our terrain generation here, but there is a layer of sand in a cave. This is wild. I'm really, really enjoying this just because of the novelty of seeing Minecraft do something a little bit different to how it's been the last 7 years I've played. And this also means that we have tropical fish in a deep slate ravine underground at Y-32, and at the bottom of this ravine, almost as though they were leading me to them, there are 2 more diamond ore. Let's see how much we've got here. Oh, looks like it was just the 2, and that leads down to lava. Okay, not going that way, but hey, 2 more diamonds. To me, that's a diamond axe and a diamond sword. The axe won't do much more than the stone axe did, but hey, we can use it to chop down some wood, because I just found an abandoned mine shaft down here, and this isn't quite the Lush cave or Dripstone cave we were looking for, but hey, it's always nice to find something new like this. But much as I would love to stick around and explore the abandoned mine shaft, I think I'm going to try and find the highest point in this cave, which is looking like it's probably over here somewhere, and dig my way up to the surface. We're in a desert, so this is going to bode well, but I'll stick a torch down underneath me and we'll try and dig our way upwards, because I think the best chance we have of finding at least a Lush cave in this episode is to find one on the surface. Here is another weird side effect of this world generation change, though. I had to get to about Y70 before I could even make my way out of here. And if I had dug up in the wrong place in this desert biome, I would have been digging for a few more minutes to get to the surface because this place is wild. At this point, though, it's pretty clear that my best shot of finding an underground lush cave is to backtrack and find one of the lush cave locations that I've found elsewhere on the map. Either that or go out exploring in the overworld until I spot an azalea and dig down from there, because the underground is enormous and it seems like lush caves and dripstone caves are currently fairly infrequent. And I do wonder if that's to make room for future cave biomes, which I'm sure we won't see in this update because the team has their work cut out for them with just what they've already got planned. But who knows, if there is an expansion to caves in future, then we could see all kinds of biomes appearing underground and making the underground almost as rich as the surface is. I honestly think with this new terrain generation, if you're searching for a dripstone cave, the smartest thing to do might actually be to look around for giant ravines and cave entrances that open to the surface like this, because that's probably your best chance of getting a snapshot of the landscape without having to dig a little bit further down and explore caves on foot. Oh my word. It's barely finishing loading in, and I think that might be the tallest terrain I've encountered so far. So much of this video has been me just marveling at what they've done to the surface world, but look at the stuff. Look at it. I mean, no doubt about it, this is truly the Explorer's update in Minecraft, because stuff like this is just around every corner now, and I do hope it stays fresh. I do hope stuff like this is still going to be interesting after you've seen mountain generation a whole bunch in the past, but wow, right now this is blowing me away. And cheeky ruin portal, anyone? Actually, no. No, actually, I think I'm good. And honestly, just the fact that these stone shore biomes can now generate at different elevations means that they have added cliffs. There are actual oceanside cliffs in Minecraft now. This is something I've wanted for a while. And maybe, yeah, the actual slope of the cliffs might seem a little... Oh boy, that guy's throwing tridents. That guy's throwing tridents. I need to swim. I was trying to admire the cliffs. Oh, he didn't even drop the trident for me. Oh, that's disappointing. And a bit of a boat ride later, I was heading back towards spawn because that was one of the locations I remembered seeing lush cave stuff on the surface, and I have stumbled across this. We have a patch of clay in the distance that kind of clued me into the whole thing, but the lush cave generation appears to head up this way, and now I'm slightly better equipped for a caving trip. I think we need to dive right into this. Here we go. This is the stuff. Naturally generated lush caves in a world that isn't just a single lush cave biome. We got a spore blossom generating up there. Oh, how lovely. And yes, we have a geode right there as well. This would be where I would set up my base. If I was keeping this world, I would set up in this geode right here, because now, for a start, the fully lit up amethyst crystals will actually block mob spawns, but most importantly, it looks so pretty next to all of the moss and everything. This is beautiful. I'm loving the fact that we actually have a little bit of lush cave generation coming through in these updates. And it looks like we found the other thing as well. This was the perfect place to come back to. I can't believe it. Yes, a skeleton took a little bit of damage over there, and it looks like he's going to take a little more damage right now because the zombie villager is after him. But this seems like a fairly narrow, almost patch of dripstone, so I'm not certain if it's a full dripstone cave or not, but it certainly seems to be continuing down this way. I know dripstone has the capacity to appear waterlogged, so we have like a little outpost of dripstone cave down here at the end of the lush cave. Kind of a shame that that doesn't continue further, but if I take a look at the biome right now, you can see the biome says Dripstone Caves, so whatever is happening on the surface doesn't matter. This is an independent biome, and as I step back out here, we are in a Lush Cave, so there we go. Dripstone Cave, Lush Cave, incredible. 3D biomes in Minecraft. Who'd have thought we would see the day? The groundwork for that was even laid in the Nether update, but the Nether update doesn't quite take full advantage of it. This, though, we have biomes on the surface and biomes below, which means different spawning rules, all kinds of different stuff can be applied. This is just the first test of what the team can do. So we have the drip leaf spawning around here. We got some small drip leaf as well. I've been wondering, actually, can we bone meal clay in a lush cave and get small drip leaf? I would love it if we would do that. Right now it only produces seagrass, but again, with this being a completely independent biome, that's something they could potentially do, because honestly right now there's no way of getting small drip leaf renewably, and I kind of like it for decorating with. And this whole underground layer seems to be a lush cave biome. Actually, if I can MLG water bucket my way down there, yep, there we go. Managed to place it on top of the grass. That was the wildest thing I've ever done. And over there, yes, that's what I was looking for, because I was certain the dripstone cave generation would carry on into the distance as well. This, my friends, is where it's at. Oh boy, and I kind of wish that drowned had dropped the trident now, because I could actually break some of the stalactites over these zombies' heads and see how many we could take out just by crushing them with dripstone. This is what I'm talking about. Dripstone caves naturally generating... Oh, bit of natural cobblestone, probably a lava source around there somewhere. Oh my goodness, I could not be more excited to see some of this stuff. And the giant columns of dripstone generating from the walls and ceilings and floors in its own stalactites made of the blocks themselves instead of just the pointed dripstone. I need to light this up with a couple of torches just so we can stand back and admire how beautiful this biome actually is, because I really like what they've done with dripstone. I wasn't entirely certain about it when it was announced, but this honestly looks so special. Look at that. Just look at that. The jaws of dripstone. I could stand around and eyeball this all day, folks, but I think that is probably where we're going to wrap up this look at the experimental snapshot for 1.18. And I get the sense that a lot of this is going to be a little bit controversial. What do you think about the new surface of the overworld? Do you think it's too hilly? Do you think maybe they need to scale that stuff back a little bit? Or are you planning on heading underground and checking out all of the stuff that exists down here? I would be really curious to hear your thoughts about that, about the mob spawning, and of course the lush and dripstone cave generation finally being available to explore for the first time in its own world. But I think there's no better illustration of it than this: a lush cave, some dripstone, the deep slate, and lava at the bottom of it. Folks, that's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you so much for watching this little look at the snapshot in development. It's going to be so exciting to see what happens next, and I cannot wait to see more of it. For now though, that's going to be it from me. My name has been Pixlriffs. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.